Welcome to the final episode of another look at Sunday School stories. In this three-part series, we've examined some of the most well-known Bible stories. And today, we're tackling some of the strangest ones yet, from a man surviving inside a whale to magical hair-powered super strength. Let's break down some of the wildest stories in the Bible and see if they hold up. Let's get started. Jonah and the whale. The story of Jonah and the whale is one of the most famous in the Bible. Jonah, a reluctant prophet, tries to escape God's command by sailing away. But God sends a storm, and Jonah is thrown overboard, swallowed by a great fish, and survives inside its belly for 3 days before being spit out onto dry land. A dramatic tale. But could it have actually happened? The short answer, no. First, there's the biological problem. No known species of whale or large fish could swallow a human whole and keep them alive for 3 days. A human would suffocate, be crushed by digestive juices, or simply starve inside the creature. Second, there's the historical context. The story strongly resembles older myths from ancient cultures, including Greek and Babylonian legends where heroes are swallowed by sea creatures and later emerge unharmed. Once again, this suggests the story isn't unique to the Bible, but was likely borrowed from earlier folklore. So, unless Jonah was some kind of superhuman fish whisperer, the evidence points to this story being a symbolic fable rather than historical fact. Next up, Samson, the biblical strawman whose power came from his long hair. He was said to have killed a lion with his bare hands, defeated entire armies single-handedly, and collapsed the temple by pushing apart 2 pillars. But does this story hold up under scrutiny? Not at all. First, let's look at the biological issue. Hair doesn't store strength, muscles do. The idea that cutting Samson's hair made him physically weak has no scientific basis. Second, there's historical context. Samson's story bears striking similarities to other ancient hero myths, such as Hercules from Greek mythology. Hercules also had God-given strength and performed incredible feats, suggesting that Samson was more of a Hebrew folklore hero than a real historical figure. Finally, there's the temple collapse problem. Could one man really push apart massive stone pillars and bring down an entire building? Engineering experts say no. Ancient temples were built to withstand earthquakes. So even if Samson had the strength of 100 men, the story still defies physics. Samson's tale is a great legend, but as history, it doesn't hold up. The walls of Jericho. According to the Bible, the Israelites conquered Jericho by marching around its walls for 7 days, blowing trumpets and shouting, causing the walls to miraculously collapse. A divine intervention, or a historical misunderstanding. First, let's check the archaeological record. Excavations at Jericho show that its walls did collapse, but not in the biblical timeline. The ruins suggest the city's walls fell centuries before the supposed conquest by Joshua. This means the story doesn't line up with actual history. Second, there's the logistical problem. Sound waves from trumpets don't have the force to collapse thick stone walls. If that were possible, we'd be using trumpets instead of demolition crew. The most likely explanation: the Israelites may have conquered a weakened or already abandoned city, and later generations mythologized the event into a grand, divine victory. So, while Jericho was real, the biblical version of its destruction doesn't hold up. Talking animals in the Bible. The Bible includes several stories where animals talk to humans, including the serpent in Eden, Genesis, Balaam's talking donkey numbers. As fun as these stories sound, there's a major issue. Animals don't talk. Neurologically, animals lack the vocal structures and cognitive abilities required for human speech. Even the smartest creatures, like dolphins and primates, can only mimic sounds or understand limited commands. So, what's really going on here? Many biblical scholars argue that these talking animal stories were meant to be symbolic, not literal. In the case of the serpent in Eden, it could represent deception or temptation rather than a literal talking snake. Likewise, Balaam's donkey, speaking, may have been a literary device to emphasize divine intervention. Regardless, there's zero scientific evidence that animals have ever spoken human language. These stories fall squarely into the realm of mythology, not history. And that concludes our 3-part series on biblical myths. We've examined the creation story, Noah's Ark, the Tower of Babel, the Exodus, And now, some of the strangest stories in the Bible. If you enjoyed this series, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content challenging religious claims. Do you have a favorite Bible story that you'd like us to take a closer look at? Drop it in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.